The mist hung low over a busy street, shrouding the hustle and bustle in a mysterious veil. Amidst the cacophony of horse-drawn carriages and the murmur of the crowd, 5 friends stood huddled near an old brick building, their eyes scanning the surroundings. Suddenly a sharp whistle pierced the air, followed by the rhythmic echo of approaching footsteps. In a hushed tone, Roy, quick-thinking and always alert, whispered, "Go between these buildings," pointing to a narrow gap barely visible in the dim light. The group squeezed into the shadowy space, hearts racing with the thrill of the unknown. As they pressed against the cold wall, a young girl, clutching a loaf of bread like a precious treasure, darted past. In a swift motion, Roy reached out, gently pulling her into their makeshift hideout. He placed a finger to his lips, signalling silence. The police officer, mere shadows away, continued his pursuit, oblivious to the group hidden by the fog. Glenn murmured, "We need to move. That cop might circle back." The girl, catching her breath, nodded in agreement. "Follow me," she whispered, leading them across the street and down into a basement hidden beneath an abandoned store. There, 2 younger boys peeked out from behind an old crate. "You're safe here," the girl introduced herself as Maggie, revealing that she and her brothers, Joseph and James, had run away from an orphanage after their father's death. Anna, one of the friends, introduced their group. Herself, Joni, Bob, Glenn and Roy, the one who had saved Maggie from a certain capture. As the church bell tolled 3 o'clock in the background, Bob glanced nervously at his watch. "We need to head back," he said. Maggie and her brothers, their eyes wide with a mix of fear and gratitude, asked if they would meet again. The friends hesitated, unsure of the future. Glenn, feeling a sudden generosity, pulled the coin he found earlier from his pocket and handed it to Maggie. "You'll have more use for it than I will," he said, his voice warm. Maggie's eyes lit up with a mix of surprise and thankfulness. As they emerged back onto the street, Joni urged, "We need to move faster, the fog is thickening." Roy called out, "Let's not get separated," his voice carrying a mix of command and concern. As they retreat back to the door and hopefully the library reading room they came from, the 5 friends disappeared into the misty. Roy opened the door, and the 5 friends passed through, walking over to the table, and the 2 books that were in some way responsible for the adventure Miss Jones, their teacher, approached, informing them that they need to put away the books and rejoin the class at the meeting place. As they rejoined their class, the 5 couldn't help but wonder what adventures lay ahead for them and their new acquaintances, with the knowledge they now possess. Could this be the last they see of Maggie and her brothers? Or was it just the beginning of a series of unforeseen encounters? Only time would tell, but for now, the mystery remains, shrouded in the thickening fog of the city.